Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and you're taking me either on an online class or a face-to-face class or one of my workshops, and we're doing a series on advertising. This is chapter one out of a series of 19 chapters or 19 sessions that we'll be talking about advertising. You already have my concept maps, you have the reading material, and this is just a quick overview. For any chapter that you've, or first series that you've taken, this kind of talks about the whole book in general, but it's focusing more on talking a little bit about refreshing what you had from your marketing experiences, the integrated marketing communication. We're going to be talking about, let's go right in here right away. I'm already live here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Okay, we'll be talking about relationship marketing, um, integrated marketing communication. I forgot what IMC is. Integrated marketing communication, four sources of integrated marketing brand messages. Like it's an advertising course you're taking me for. Dimensions of integrated marketing communication. What is advertising? Dimensions of advertising. Human communication process. It's just a regular communication process, with the sender, the decoder, the coder, the noise, the message, everything you learned in intro to business or in marketing or in management. Interactive communication model is basically how do I, because of technology, how do I communicate with my client or my customer base real time online. And if you're taking me for an online class, we're either doing asynchronous or unsynchronous. This one is unsynchronous because you could view me at any time you want. The asynchronous one would be everyone would be at the same time, and we could be communicating through technology like meeting boards or something where we could talk. One person's talking, but then everyone is listening, and then the other person could ask, like raising his or her hand, and basically take over the screen. Okay, we're talking about the Stearns communication model, and it goes into some detail on that one. Feedback and interactivity communication model, marketing dimensions. What is marketing? This is more of a refresher. Advertising classification, target marketing, 4 P's of marketing. More of a refresher. This is chapter one, just to get you a good baseline. So when we're going forward, after I'll go through these, you have a good understanding when we go to chapter two and chapter three and through the other chapters. Now, some of the chapters I'll be doing through utilizing a PowerPoint. I usually like using the concept maps because it's easier for you to follow. You've already been provided with the concept maps if you're in any of my classes, online or face-to-face class or in a training session. But the concept maps works well because you can see the whole picture. What do you learn? And I could jump from side to side, just like in mine. It's visual. Here I probably have, if I'm not looking, just as a quick intro, since it's chapter one, maybe about 50 slides. 30 or 40 slides, and if I would have been in PowerPoint all on one sheet. Okay, so relationship marketing. What I'm looking at relationship marketing is basically creating, maintaining, enhancing long-term relationship. No different than when you want to do a relationship with a friend or a network or business acquaintance. You want a longer term. So part of marketing is how do I build a relationship? And part of relationship means that you have to communicate to the individual. Part of communication, I don't always have to send a face-to-face person. I could send an advertising, an ad, or something. Hey, we haven't heard from you from a while. Buy something here for that. Yeah, and Staples does that a lot to me. I haven't heard anything from you, but here's a $50 gift certificate if you spend $100. So it's, you get 50% off. Any way you look at it. But that's something that basically they're through the advertising, through the promotion of integrated marketing, they're keeping me in there. I've already been in the store. I already have a relationship. How do I maintain that? Okay, importance of relationship level, customer profit relationship. So if I'm looking at figure two, is when I look at this, here's the bottom line. What are our goals in advertising or in marketing? Relationship marketing, money, manage customers, company contacts. I have to have it. A repeat customer. I have that personal salesperson, or if I have people only buy once a year or every so often, I still got to keep them on the list because there's still money coming in. Okay, maximize the value of profitable customers. Those who buy more, I try to have more communications with them. Try to give them more. Items that will enhance them to buy more products, or ask them questions. How do I do better to serve you, or what kind of products you're looking for? But the bottom line is, anytime they buy from me or anytime they ask anything else, I have to have an integrated communication system that takes that data and starts categorizing it and seeing what new products they need or what where they're unhappy with me. So that's basically when I'm looking at the relationship marketing. It's everything I know about my customer, just like you know about your loved one. You know how to upset them. You know how to make them happy. You know if you upset them, what to make it good, how to make them happy again, or what are their likes or dislikes. That's basically part of the whole integrated marketing communication. Now, some tactics they have integrated marketing communication is mass media. If I look at mass media, I just shoot it out there to everyone. Give everybody out there. Some will come in. It's like I'm just throwing a net and I'm going to catch some. But that's not very cost effective. You know what I mean? Because I'm spending money and maybe I may hit with 10 people. I'm better off targeting an area where I know there's a lot of the individuals that will buy my product or my service. I still use mass media for a new introduction of a new product because people don't know that I have this new product or I'm out there as an awareness. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to eliminate it. You just have to know strategically when do I use it and when do I not use it. Okay, the other one is targeted messages, and that's a heavy reliance on targeted messages. I target specifically to the customer to push the triggers or to open up or water the seeds that are planted earlier for him to or her to understand how to purchase my product or the benefits of my product. You know, customer data always in every time they contact with me through marketing, through everything else. Anytime I could send a survey, they respond to me. Even if I give them a free iPhone or iTablet or a Samsung, irrelevant. I could basically, for lack of better words, get information from the customer. Once I understand the customer, I could put them into a model, a logarithm, and find out if I raise my prices, will this affect them? Will they, what percentage of my customer base will buy a new product or innovation, or the ads? You know, and what are expectations and bottom line expectation for marketing supplies, and how does it affect on the customers? You know, news. You know, when I'm looking at how it affects on the customer, here's what I'm looking at. Here's my new product or my new services in the center. I'm just going to copy it in here. So how do I get the news out to them? Is it through word of mouth? Is it through the web? Is it expert opinion? Is it through gossip? Somebody's telling it. Is it through social media? Is it through the CEO personality or through the financial reports? So there's a lot of information that I could get. Integrated advertising, integrated marketing, that I could contact different things about my product directly and indirectly. That's what advertising does. That's what marketing. That's the whole goal and objective of marketing. Okay, 4 sources of integrated marketing branding messages. I have a planned message. That's no problem. I advertise, publicity, I release. You know, I have very low impact. Their ads, we're bombarded by so much advertising. You have to do something different, something unique to catch your attention. That's why when sometimes you open a paper and they have the perfume, oh, there's something different. Let me smell it. Oh, what kind is it? And after a while, you don't open up and I don't want to smell the perfume anymore. But they have to do something. You have to look at a birthday card, open up, and they sing, they dance, they light up, they do a lot of things. Sometimes scare the heck out of people. Okay, but they have a low impact. You have product messages about the product, the price, the packaging. It has a greater impact when you're comparing products. You know, when you're talking about your product. You know, what are the advantages? You know, what's in the packaging or through a personal sales, individual service messages, employee interactions. How may I help you? Let me explain this. Let me show you. Let me taste this, or let me here. You try it out. You know, it has positive and negative depending on the employee and the interaction he or she has. The person may not want to talk to anybody. Unplanned messages, news stories, rumors. You know, oh, I heard that Apple the tablet's bending too much. Well, that's why they call it the curve. I was just kidding. I could have made a marketing advertising out of it. But what they did, when you look at Apple, they had some issues with it, but they didn't send out to enough. They only sent out to a small group of individuals, first newcomers. So those were the innovators. They say, hey, we're sorry, we'll give you something back. A smaller group found out what was wrong with it before they did mass production to everybody else. And they just took care of the smaller group. And that's where they minimized negative input. If I would send it out to all the stores and everyone had an issue, that would have been a nightmare, even from an advertising or marketing perspective, to contain and to bring it back into a positive twist. So this worked out pretty good on that. Okay, and now dimensions of integrated marketing communication. You have what they call the integrated triangle. You say, you got to plan the message, you do product, a service, a message about it, and you confirm the unplanned messages. It makes a little bit more sense when you're reading through the information. I'm trying to cover everything else within about 40 minutes, okay? What is advertising? It's structured, composed communications transmitted through a communication medium depending on your target audience, usually persuasive. So you're taking a persuasive speech is how to get you to act or to do something. Look at my, it doesn't have to be the product. Look about the information. Look at the site. Get some information about me. Find out some information. And then it leads on to, okay, now you try it. Do you want us to send you a free sample? You see how you get the person involved into the process. And about the products, identify the sponsors and direct to the groups. Okay, dimension of advertising, you communicate, you look at economics, and you look at marketing and social and ethical. So I'm looking at economics, when I'm advertising, am I getting the return on my investments for the ads? How many people are actually reading the ads? How many people are calling back in or utilizing? Was the added effect to bring people in or talk about my product? And is it tied into the marketing campaign? And then is it social ethical? Is it too controversial? Have I upset someone? Did I do something with the ad that was discriminatory, or did it upset a big target of my audience? Maybe it was like I mentioned before, like some kind of ad that was offensive to just domestic violence. If I look what happened to domestic violence with the NFL when that got out of one of the players basically was beating up his girlfriend or now his wife in the elevator, and there was no action. That was basically a negative effect against the whole brand, and they had to do some advertising, and you saw a lot of marketing and everything else through the Super Bowl. Some people said that's inappropriate, but they had to send a message: we do not take domestic violence. We take domestic violence seriously, and we do not condone that kind of an attitude. So remember, you have to look at what does the message bring out. Human communication process, and basic the source, the decoder, the noise, the channel, everything you've learned in base. I'm the source. I encode a message. I put it through a channel. The best channel, the rich channel, is face-to-face. Anytime I can see my face or nonverbal instant communication. The worst one is through email communication, and that is what we basically do now in our society. That's why you have the cameras or the FaceTime or the Skype where we could actually talk, but you could actually see me. You can't touch me, but you could come pretty damn close. You could see my facial expressions. You could see if I'm sincere, and I could kind of look at you in the camera, looking and knowing that you're there looking at me back and going, makes sense now, okay? And the noise, the static or anything else, if I have my tie this way, that could be noise for somebody, or something like I got food on my face, that could be a noise. Interactive model. When I'm looking at the interactive model, let's look at this. It basically takes, remember the other model, when I'm looking at the regular human model, you start this way, it goes like this, and it comes around back way. Interactive model is encoder, source, or decoder. We're constantly communicating. Online, when I'm talking face-to-face, I could change my communication right away. So what I'm trying to do through an advertising, through the use of technology, to try to utilize more of an interactive communication model where you could talk to me. If I'm buying something online, all of a sudden, hey, do you need help? We have a person right away, what they call an avatar, that pops up. And sometimes you can see their face and say, hey, could I help you? And you could type it in, or you could just, like on a phone, if you have a web camera, you could communicate them face-to-face, and they'll type it in for them. If I'm using like a Dragon software, voice recognition, okay? So you need that one, so we take care of that. Hey, we're moving pretty good on this chapter 1. Okay, now if I look at the Stern's communication model, he basically looked at this integrative model, and here, let me just show you here. It's the same thing that we had there, only what he was looking at is the source is the sponsor, and the author is someone who is sponsoring it and is creating the digital imprint, for lack of a better word, personalizing it, and is putting it into an autobiography or a narrative, like this would be a narrative type, or a drama or some kind of a show, to implied customers or sponsorial customers and actual customers. This is the whole model. So it starts from the sponsor, and it gives it, and is basically very direct, very a niche to a type of implied customers. We know they're out there, but we know somebody's watching the sports. Somebody's coming into this a website specifically with that interest in mind. It's not like a mass communication. It's specifically, I'm trying to find some religious program. I'm trying to find some dating match. I'm trying to find something about learning, going to some college things, some information. It's very specific. So that's what Storm's model. So how do I work with it? So if I'm looking at the sponsor, is legally responsible, he or he has the message. The author is basically the copyright, the director, the creative group that's basically invisible to the audience. Remember, the sponsor has the message. Here's the advertising thing, for lack of a better word. The personalized one is within the text. There's something in there that lends a voice or tone to an ad, real or imaginary. You have like Mr. Clean. He's an animated, or the one who does with Empire. And I'm not trying to put one; it just sticks in my mind. You've been so long, you've bombarded my Empire. Oh yeah, carpet. You're all right. So if you're a company, you're going to come up with Empire. If you're going to think of your carpet, make sure you're either a carpet company or something different. But what they do is basically they have the person. He's already passed away, if I ain't mistaken, or he's elderly. So he has an animation, and everyone sees him doing everything else there. So he's making more personalized talking to you. People, we accept an animation. Okay, a message dimension, literary form, text, advertising. It could be an autobiography. I tell a story about myself or how I created a product. The imaginary audiences. Narrative, basically third person tells a story. Hey, here's my life things. I bought this product, and all of a sudden here's the benefits I saw. I also learned. I took the course here with Dr. George Mochocki, and I know everything about marketing and advertising integration, integrative communication and advertising, how it ties in. Okay, and or a drama. If I look at dramas, basic characters set up in the front. A lot of times you'll see in marketing just as an enactment of a real life situation or simulation of that. Okay. Yeah, okay. And now, the receiver dimension. The implied customers are basically every ad or commercial assumes an audience of ideal consumers are out there looking at it. Sponsored customers, decision makers at the sponsor's organization, they decide if the ad will run to these implied customers. And then the actual customers are people in the real world who comprise the target audience, and they see the ad and they give them the feedback, say, hey, we like it or we don't like it. And how you do that, when we go with the feedback, we're going to go up in a little bit, is are they buying my product? Are they coming in? Are they asking about it? So here it out. Right, perfect timing. Feedback, the interactivity communication model. Here it goes. Important for the sender. It lets the sender know, I'm sending a message, I do the advertising, I put it out there, that it's received and understood. Can tell when communication breaks down, because now all of a sudden people are coming to my site or they're buying my product. All of a sudden I see nothing is dropping. What happened? I spent $20,000, $50,000, $500,000 on the thing. I have no calls. What did I do? Oh my goodness! I put the wrong telephone number. Or I did something wrong, or it didn't air the way it should be, or there's too much noise, static, and they come in. So are they redeeming my coupons? Are they getting a phone inquired? Are they visiting my website and say, hey, I just saw your site, get this free 10% off? Are they responding to my surveys? Have my sales increased? Are they visiting my stores? Those are all communications in interactive models. Okay, so now the marketing dimensions are only marketing. Marketing is the only one when I look at that basically generates, has a revenue generation as a primary role. When I do marketing, is that I increase sales, increase customer satisfaction. I do something to bring people into the audience, bring people to the company. That's what marketing is. It's a generating money. When the business is down, I have to not cut my marketing expense. I have to increase my marketing, my advertising expense, so people come in. So I'm more aware. McDonald's did that when they only had the value meal. They didn't do any coupons and anything else. That's where Burger King and Wendy's got a leap on them, because even though they didn't change anything else, by just having the marketing, the advertising, and their people will remind it, trigger. Oop, McDonald's, I haven't had one for a while. Let me have one. Let me try that Big Mac. Okay? Or now McDonald's is trying to come into more healthier food. Whether you could change the customer perception, yes or no, we'll see what happens. Okay, what is marketing? The process of planning and executing. Let me move it over here so you can see it. Executing the concepts, pricing, distribution. That's a distribution change. Promotion is to persuade someone. Ideas, goods, and services that creates exchanges that basically satisfy perceived needs of individual and organizations. Okay, So what is advertising classification? I have to know my target audience. I have to know the geographic area I'm going to bombard the ads with, for lack of better words. Saturate the ads, the frequency, and the exposure. That's what you're going to do if you already take the marketing are prerequisites for this class, so you already know those terminologies. What is the medium? And the medium is not like spiritual person. Well, it's about the same thing. I'm looking at media. How I'm going to transport it. It's going to be a newspaper. It's going to be ad. It's going to be radio. It's going to be a salesperson. It's going to be face-to-face. What is the medium? And what is the purpose of the ad? What am I trying to do? Increase awareness, find a person, or increase sales, or increase or sell a product that I'm trying to get rid of, buy one get one free. Okay, consumer market. There's two types of market. Consumer market is basically retail and public. I hit the consumer market. Business to business is a little different. You still use the 4 P's: trades, profession, agriculture, anything that's business related. Okay, so I have that, and we've learned the two, consumer to consumer. There's no such thing as consumer to consumer. It's business to consumer and business to business. Okay, 4 P's. You got to know about the product, the price, the place, and promotion. For consumer market, price is the most important thing, because whatever the price, it's a gauge. If the higher price, it means it's a higher quality. Lower price means it's a lower quality product. Now, from a business perspective, I still use the 4 P's. I go, please buy my product, but my advertising has to change. Remember, my advertising here is going to focus on price first, and the product, and the place, and the promotion to get them buy. For business, since there's a lot of discounts and everything else, the product has to be the main focus. And how do I get it in distribution? Because it's a part into my component. If I buy a battery and I'm HPC, and I buy a battery from whoever makes the batteries, and all of a sudden the battery starts my computer on fire that I sell to my customers, they don't care that I bought this from somebody else. It's an HPC product. It hurts me. So I'm looking at product specification. I'm looking at quality, and then price comes in there. And then when it comes to place, I'm looking at how quick the delivery could come in, so I could minimize my shipping time by minimize my inventory by utilizing just-in-time management, because the place of the warehouses where I'm getting the product is there. Remember, a little different. Now, place, when I'm looking for a retail business to consumer, the consumer wants the Walmart, the stores, the Targets, or the Kmarts, or the Costco, the Sam's. I'm not trying to select one over the other. Someplace close so you don't have to drive far to get the products, unless you have a good promotion to get them in there. So if I'm far away from here, my promotion has to basically to enhance people that have to do a travel to come to my store to purchase my product. Okay, and then integrated communication. Here's the model. And look at the integrated. Let me just make this a little bit bigger here. I don't know why it keeps. Well, hang on. So if I'm looking at the integrated model, for lack of better words, the integrated model, it takes collateral materials. I got to have handouts, advertising, publication, books, or links or something else, depending on my media that I'm utilizing my advertising campaign. I have to have personal selling. How do I get a personal selling? I can't sell anything unless I give somebody, oh, check our link out, or here's some handouts, here's some advertising, here's something else, so the person could have a tangible material in their hand. But I have to, or prepare the salesperson before I come in there. Read the link. I will have a salesperson in the area. Here's some information. So I'm pre-selling before he or she comes in there, so they have something to talk about. And it also gives me awareness. Public relations, I utilize that to see the face. I have people in a lot of companies that just look at the papers, look at the face thing, to see if there's anything negative said about their organization, and if so, how do we counter offer, either through advertising, or we go through the grapevine, or social media. What do we do, or do we just hope it just goes away slowly? And sales and promotion is basic persuaders. How do I, when I have sales, I have a high quality price, but I'm not going to load a price, because people are going to think that it's going to load a quality that keep the price high. I have promotional sales, so people to see the discounts, and that discount here, it would have cost me $100, but I got it for $50. My goodness, that's good. Now, don't go over crazy when you say here online on ad, buy these this nice set for $12.99. Oh, for one time only, you could buy 2 sets for $12.99. Just pay the shipping, and we'll throw this in, and after a while, it's garbage. It may be a good thing, but you're giving me too much stuff to. It starts watering down. For $12.99, I'm buying all this stuff, so it may not be that good. It may be inexpensive material, poor quality. All right, so that takes care of our chapter here, and I think I've covered everything else. If I'm mistaken, I think I got it down in 30 minutes. So let me just make this just a little bit smaller. So we covered everything else in our first chapter of advertising, that you're taking me online or face-to-face class or a workshop. We talked about relationship marketing. We talked about IMC, integrated marketing communication. We talked about brand messages, the dimensions of it, the dimensions of advertising, integrative communication, the Stern model. How do I bring from sponsorship? How do I bring that message to that implied customer? That's what my ads are doing. I have to, in my mind, understand consumer behavior. How do customers think? Where do they read at? What would be the appropriate message that's ethical, legal, and it won't be offensive to them? And now I do my ads by that. I utilize marketing, and marketing is integrated marketing is the heart of the whole advertising campaign. So just another way of showing people through different media, through the radio, through the ads, through the jingle, and basically buying my product. Okay, and targets different markets and different audiences, and the 4 P's of marketing: place, price, promotion, and product. And how do I utilize that with my advertising campaign? Because they all have to have different ads or maybe different advertising slogans for different areas, or one massive campaign, but it has the same jingle or has the same message, maybe just broken down in different advertising, depending in which of the 4 P's I'm targeting. And then integrated marketing communication. So this is it. You did the first chapters, a series of 19 chapters. Again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and this is chapter 1. Remember, you could move along fast with the concept maps, slow them down, write, take your notes, read the book, do the handouts, do the forums, do the lectures, and everything else will make sense. And this is how you're learning. This is integrated. This is a learning environment. Only you're taking me in a virtual office online. Thank you again. Bye.